Well, people, post A-Day spring game was really good. We got a lot to talk about and discuss right here on a Monday. Hottest show on the streets. Got the fire and the smoke, the money and the crumbs, bringing you the number one form here for Crimson Tide football. That being in my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. We're bringing you the show from the magic city of Birmingham, streaming this to you on YouTube. And before you do anything, hit subscribe. Smash that subscribe button right now. Get your friends, family members who are diehard Bama fans or casual college football fans to subscribe as well, because if you love the content, they will also. Do not forget to hit that like button also. Run those likes up. Get those likes past the moon right here. Let's get this show starting off to 50 likes, making this your show, your network platform and channel here to talk Bama. Turn all of those post notifications on. Hit that little bell so that way you can be alerted and reminded on all things Crimson Tide so that you don't miss anything on your favorite program. We also got you covered here, streaming to you the show on Facebook and Twitter as well. But a fun show today. We're going to be looking back over the spring game, talk about the things we enjoyed, the things that need to be tightened up on. Is this defense for real, The summer enrollees coming in here with spring football over. Just a lot to talk about, discuss, and get down to business here on. And we want to hear from you, the passionate fans of Bama football. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. Number to call in there, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you. That daily super chat goal, $75. Appreciate the love coming from you guys. And it's Monday, so we got to do it right. Patrick Dowd is here. P-Money, breaking news reporter for TDA. It's Monday. You and I both at the scrimmage. Despite the rain, not a huge crowd, P, but, some good things happen.
Yeah, it was a bit gloomy. It was a bit of a gloomy day. It's too bad, the sun wasn't shining, house wasn't as packed as it could have been, but still a lot of interesting. We still saw a lot of interesting things there.
And Nick Saban had the legendary blue suit on to some degree.
I wonder how much Affleck paid him to rock the blue blazer.
I don't know how much Affleck paid him, but the Duck probably put some money in that. The Duck probably did do that.
Oh yeah, they got a good thing going there.
Nick Saban and the Duck got that friendship going to the T, but also Tide fans. I had something to say, then never mind there. But shout out to my man John Ivor in the production studio as well on the ones and twos there from behind the scenes. But we're going to get into now topic number one here of the conversation, that being the takeaways from the scrimmage. A lot of good things that took place on the field despite the wet football, the rainy conditions, and not a whole bunch of fans inside Bryant-Denny. There were a lot of positive moments here from the event. And so, Pat, we start off the positive moments with the quarterback room. A lot of teams have one quarterback, and if something happens to that player, God forbid, you have to pack it up, so to speak, because there's nobody else after that guy. But for Alabama, completely different story. You know what you have in Bryce Young. Yes, he didn't have the greatest A-Day in the world, but you know what you have in Bryce Young. Heisman Trophy winner coming back. But to see Jalen Milroe and the way he performed, we know he's an athlete. We saw the quickness, the athleticism, but his improvement as a passer, especially on some throws he had in the first half, very encouraging. And then to see Ty Simpson, the maneuvering, the dual threat ability, the running style, the scrambling, but then also him firing some darts as well, having a sound, legit quarterback room. This is very encouraging for Tide fans leaving the stadium.
Very encouraging, very comforting. I think since the Jalen Hurts and Tua days, Alabama's really tried to have two solid quarterbacks at the same time, even going with Mac Jones and Bryce Young in 2020. But I think we'd heard all spring about how much more comfortable Jalen Milroe is in this offense, and I think he really showed. Even though if you just looked at the stats, he only completed about 48% of his passes. But I think there's a lot of outside factors that contributed to that, like we mentioned, the wet ball, and there's 7 drops between both teams. So some things that he couldn't necessarily control there, but I think he looked really good, especially as a passer. And everyone's going to point to that deep ball they had in Christian Leary. That was nice. That was a bomb. That was a great throw and a great catch from Leary. But I think it was some of the intermediate throws that really impressed me as well. I think he connected with Kendrick Law a few times and Leary about 15, 20 yards. So I think I was really impressed with his progression as a passer during the day.
I was impressed with Milroe, absolutely. And then watching Simpson, he's got wheels on him.
Yeah,
he gets
he's
out
a
of the
really good
pocket.
athlete.
He's quick, he's running, he's elusive. But then, Ty Simpson had a few throws, especially one to Tyu Jones-Bell on a rope. Put it right there. Jones-Bell making the catch, keeping the feet in bounds. Simpson going to have to continue the maturation of his body and then also getting more acclimated with the system. But as he continues to grow, he's going to be really nice for this program. It's almost got me thinking, do you really need to get Arch Manning in the 2023 class, when you look at the growth of Milroe, what you have in Ty Simpson, I mean, do you really need Arch Manning?
I mean, why not, right? It's a good problem to have if you have three good quarterbacks. I mean, like everyone points to that picture. Alabama's had 3 good quarterbacks before with Tua, Jalen, and Mac in the same quarterbacks room. So, I mean, why not? Why not try to hoard all the talent you can, right?
I mean, good point. Good point there. So, Alabama quarterback room, strong, legit. Some great things or encouraging things from Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson. Moving on here, Pat, the running back room, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
As good
Burners.
as advertised, burner. And people felt like coming in, you would see the electricity, the speed, the lightning in a bottle, the explosiveness, but he had some really strong runs, showed some contact balance, some power, but then the 75-yard run to the house, that showed, instant offense. It gave you shades of Kenyon Drake. It gave you shades of Alvin Kamara. It gave you some shades of Reggie Bush, where when he hits optimum speed, he's gone. You're not catching that guy. And Coach Saban even talked about it. Fast is fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw him out there. So Jahmyr Gibbs gives you an element where, as much as you like to have those 10, 12, 15-play drives that just demoralize a defense, we're in an age of college football and NFL where give me the instant offense, give me the quick score, give me the guy that can take a 5-yard pass and go, or a short run and go.
Who needs a 12-play drive when you can just do it in one, right? And that's what Gibbs can do, like that 75-yard run on a first-team Alabama defense that really dominated the day, and with the bulk of that front seven pretty much coming back, they were really good defending the run last year. So to see him and it was good. There was also good movement from the offensive line that had a rough day in and of itself, but I mean, like Gibbs, I think he was as advertised, and he only had 9 carries throughout the day, so whenever his role is expanded, it's going to be really exciting to see what he can do.
9 carries, Pat, 100 yards, and here's an interesting stat here. Since the A-Day game started in 2007, 8 of the MVP performances were running backs, including Terry Grant 2008, Mark Ingram 2010, Trent Richardson 2011. There was 3 times where T.J. Yeldon was the MVP, 2012 through 14, Damian Harris 16, and now Jahmyr Gibbs. 2 of those times where it was Richardson in 11 and T.J. Yeldon in 2012. Bama went on to win a national championship in the fall of both years. Could we see Gibbs be that 3rd MVP running back spring game that can get the Tide to a championship?
I mean, maybe. That's some pretty good company to be with right there in and of itself. But, I mean, sure, why not? Especially with all the talent that's surrounded them on offense. And there's some guys that need to step up. But, I mean, he's a lightning rod, man. He's a dynamic, game-changing back, and he could certainly be in that conversation.
Definitely want to keep your eyes on Gibbs and McClellan, potentially, as the
Roydell
1-2
Williams.
punch.
Don't forget about him.
Roydell Williams looks jacked. I mean, he looks yoked up.
I saw a picture of him after the game. His arms enormous.
I mean, he looks like The Rock out there lifting the freeway. So this running back room, definitely keep your eyes on that. But as we flip now, Pat, to the receivers, there was so much conversation on Jermaine Burton, and he had a tremendous spring. But Christian Leary said, let me reintroduce myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, I'm Leary. And the kid from Edgewater High School out of Orlando, Florida, what a show he had. 5 catches, 106 yards, 1 touchdown. He worked Malachi Moore a bit there in the A-Day game. But for Christian, he was about speed when he came in 2020. But you can tell he has improved the route concepts. He's improved that tremendously.
Absolutely. He, like I mentioned earlier, it was the home run ball against Malachi Moore. You could say it was against the second-team defense, but Malachi Moore really isn't necessarily a second-team guy. He was rotating in with the ones last year throughout the entire year, so that's a pretty good player to be beaten downfield like that. And like I mentioned earlier, he's got a certain kind of toughness to him. Maybe that's what Nick Saban was looking for when he was transitioned to running back a season ago in that kind of emergency role. He's a really tough route runner, makes some really good contested catches. I think there was someone who was draped all over him, took a pretty good shot, and he was able to corral the football. So I think he's showing some flashes where, hey, maybe I can get a look with Bryce Young this fall.
As much as I like JoJo Earl, and I do, Christian Leary bumped him up. He bumped him in the spring game. But for this matter right here, Christian Leary in the past would try to make body catches. He's now snatching the ball with hands. You're seeing him distribute his weight smoothly in and out of cuts, out of breaks, out of routes. So really impressed with Leary. But here as we flip to, like you mentioned, Pat, the defense had a day. Both defenses had a day. If I had to run through the stats right now, between both units combined, 15 sacks, 20 tackles for loss, 9 pass breakups, 4 quarterback hurries, a fumble recovery, and 2 interceptions. Good God, the defense went off. There was a point where Nick Saban goes, "Can we pull Will Anderson off the field?